We were just talking about how nice the weather was over the weekend, a great time to get outside. Bob Richards, though, you're on our side. Yeah, you spent a lot of time inside, quite a bit of time, because there were a ton of new movies over
I
the
really
weekend.
wanted to be outside, but yeah, there was too many movies.
But until they open up one of those outdoor theaters, you know, you just don't have any opportunities, right?
And a lot of people actually did go to the movies this weekend. Taken 2 once again took the box office crown, but the finish was a close one. The film brought in $22.5 million to lift its total to $86.6 million so far. Ben Affleck's Argo was a close second with $20.1 million, while Sinister exceeded expectations with $18.3 million. Kevin James' Here Comes the Boom was 5th with $12 million. Seven Psychopaths was 9th, and The Perks of Being a Wallflower was 10th. Atlas Shrugged Part 2 did not make the top 10. Argo is a movie that proves once and for all that Ben Affleck is a better director than he is an actor. He's not a bad actor, but he's a great director. This interesting, wonderful, true story had me totally involved every single second. It's a nail-biter of a tale that is especially interesting for those of us who lived through the event. Expect to see Argo come awards time. 4.5 stars out of 5. In The Perks of Being a Wallflower, Emma Watson adopts a convincing American accent and once again makes you fall in love with her in this heartfelt, tender, wonderful, and bittersweet coming-of-age film. The movie is a perk. 4 stars out of 5. Sinister is a horror film that is more eerie and suspenseful instead of outright scary. There are a couple of jumps and a few hair-raising moments, however. It is a better-than-average horror tale that gave me goosebumps more than once. 3.5 stars out of 5. Here Comes the Boom was produced by Adam Sandler's production house, so I knew what to expect, but Kevin James toned it down a notch, so he's not awful for a change. But this movie could have been so much more. I wish they'd played this straight, but instead they made it a comedy. James isn't very believable as a teacher who moonlights as an MMA fighter with a spray tan. And while he hasn't made a good movie so far, this one's at least palatable. I expected Here Comes the Doom, but was pleasantly surprised. 3 stars out of 5. Seven Psychopaths is not the outrageous comedy that I thought it would be. It's more quirky than funny. I watched it with a smirk on my face rather than laugh at it. Sam Rockwell does a good job of stealing every scene he's in, and Christopher Walken is almost doing a caricature of himself. It's not boring, but it isn't a laugh-out-loud comedy either. Seven Psychopaths was 5 disappointments, 3 stars out of 5. While Atlas Shrugged Part 2 is an improvement from the first film, production values have increased slightly and we get an entirely new cast. That's still not saying much. The book deserves better. I love the message, but dislike the messenger. It's melodramatic and cheesy. It strings the story along until, wait for Part 3. Really? Just read the book. I wonder what they might call the next film. Shrug Harder? The Shrug is On? Get Shruggy with it? Atlas and the Shrug? Atlas 3 Shrugment Day? It's a good day to shrug? I don't know, lots of possibilities. 2 stars out of 5. For my reviews, a look at this week's DVD and Blu-ray releases and more, head over to my website, BobRichardsMovieReviews.com, or link to it at IdahoOnYourSide.com.
And of course, after all those suggestions for the Shrug films, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen.
Who knows?
But definitely some good movies and starting to talk of some awards
Starting to
already.
do a little Oscar talk.
And it looked like Ben Affleck was in the film in Argo himself.
He starred in it and
with
he
a
directed
long
it.
do, it looked
yeah,
like as
and
well.
a nice beard.
Yeah, pretty scruffy looking.
Like to see the facial hair coming
in
back.
that film. So one of the favorites from the weekend. All right, thanks a lot for being here this morning, Bob.